Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while, hasn't it? It's been a little while, and I'm not going to get into where I've been in this video. It's something I will talk about in a video to come, or some videos to come. I'm very excited to share with you where I've been, but for now I just want to get back into reading, back into helping, back into guiding. So I felt really called today to start with a July collective reading. The energy is strongly coming through. It feels very light, very bright, very positive actually. So if you've been drawn to this video, you've clicked on this, then there is a message here for you. Now this is a collective reading, so bear in mind that take and leave what resonates with you. Not everything's going to resonate. Some things might resonate, some things might not. But yeah, I'm so happy to be back, and I've missed you all, and just thank you for your continued love and support. I will just, is it preface? I will just start this video by saying there are going to be changes around here. Content is going to change. We are going to go more down the spiritual route, more down the card reading route, more down that route, because that's how I can help you more. Celebrity readings have been the main part of this channel for such a long time, but it is time now to leave that in the past. And I know a lot of you love them, and I'm sorry to disappoint any of you, but I have to follow my purpose and my calling, and I feel like that part of my kind of journey is done. So I hope you'll stick with me. If you don't want to, that's fine. I completely understand. Thank you for being here. But yeah, so if you do enjoy this video, please do hit a lovely thumbs up. Also, to let you know, I have a whole new website. It's www.kirstylewis.co.uk. It used to be .com, it's now .co.uk. I'll link that down below. You can book your own personal and private reading with me there. I've also got a self-love workshop on there as well, which is really powerful, really good. And yeah, I'm going to get straight into this reading. I've got some notes here, so let's go. So, okay, July, we are at the first point of the second half of the year. So the first half of the year is now complete. We are now turning into the second half of the year. And so the energy really coming in from Spirit is about being open to change. And I feel when I was connecting with Spirit that they are saying that in our own personal lives, whether they're big changes or little changes, change is going to be a key theme here. Change in a sense of revisiting old ideas and old things that maybe you'd planned to do this year, goals that you'd set for yourself this year, but you've put off. Oh, I'll do that another day, I'll do that another time. They're going to come back and they're going to give you an opportunity to try it again. What actually came up here was giving yourself a second chance. Usually at the beginning of a year, we set New Year's resolutions and then we kind of forget about them, or after January, after February, we go off into our old life and we fall back into old habits. But what Spirit is saying here as we enter July is that conversations might come up. You might see an advert online. You might see a social media post. Someone might say something to you and it's going to re-spark, oh yeah, I forgot I set that goal. I forgot I set that goal at the end of the year. Let me maybe pick that up now. And there's a real spark for change here. There's a real, let me revisit what I wanted to do. And that revisiting is going to spark change. So that's what I've got here. I'm just going to do the energy part first, then we will get into the cards. So we've got officially entering the second half of the year. So we really want to be looking ahead. And Spirit is saying to just put to bed now. Don't beat yourself up about what you didn't do or what you said you were going to do and then you didn't do it. Just let it go. There's no point in beating yourself up about what didn't work out. Just learn from it and revisit where you can maybe make it happen now, or if you even still want to make it happen. Another thing that came up was that it's okay to change your mind and to reassess where you are, you know, to reassess your goals, to reassess your resolutions. Do you still want that thing? You know, this is a perfect midpoint to be like, let me look at the next 6 months ahead. Do I still actually want that fitness goal? Do I still want that career goal? Is that something I still want, or am I open to something completely different now? It's okay to change your mind. What do you want for the next 6 months of the year? And on the 3rd of July, we have the Capricorn full moon, and this moon's really going to highlight everything I've just said. It's going to bring up those old things that you said you wanted to start at the beginning of the year. It's going to bring up you revisiting the goals, the resolutions that you set. It's going to check in with you. It's going to be poking you like, remember you said you were going to do this? Those conversations will be coming up. Those social media posts will probably grab your attention. You probably will start seeing things where you're like, oh yeah, oh, maybe I'm not on path, or maybe you are. It's an opportunity to really, you know, often in workplaces, you'll have like a 6-month review. Think of this as your 6-month review. And the Capricorn full moon is going to highlight this and help this. Now, Spirit is saying, it's coming in thick and fast, as always, Capricorns are known as the workaholics. Capricorns, when they are determined and they know what they're doing, they usually have very successful careers. They usually work very, very hard at anything they do. That's what this energy around this full moon is here to do. It's here to say, okay, so what, because Capricorns are blunt. Capricorns can be very black and white. It's here for that Capricorn energy to sit with you and say, what are you doing? What do you want? Do you still want that thing? Let's get clear here. Let's not sit on the fence. Let's not sit on the edge. Let's not, you know, be in the grey area. Let's be black and white. You need to make a decision, and you need to commit, or you need to let it go. And you may find, like, Spirit is talking about mental critique coming up, like beating yourself up. Capricorns, because of their workaholic energy and their energy to really want the best, they can be hard on themselves and hard on those they love. So you may find yourself pressuring yourself a little bit. Spirit is just saying to try and kind of transmute that energy, try and just make it work for you, and just try and sit with it and be like, okay, I need to get clear now about what I actually do want and what I don't want. Because the thing is, sometimes we hold dreams from when we're like 10 years old or 15 years old, when we wanted to do, I don't know, when we were playing with Barbie, I don't know, you know, and we don't reassess. We don't meet ourselves where we are now in our lives. You know, life is constantly changing, and this moon is here to say, do you still want that thing? Does that still align with you? And if it does, let's sit and use this Capricorn energy to actually make it happen, plan a way forward. And if not, let's just drop it. Let's be black and white here. Let's be clear, right? So that full moon on the 3rd of July is going to help you do that. Don't be surprised if, you know, things pop up and you're like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot I said I would do that back in January. I completely forgot that I set that goal. Life got in the way. Spirit is saying that the sun's coming in now. We've just had summer solstice. The sun's coming in to kind of illuminate the way forward, to kind of be like, get the distractions out the way. Let's actually look at your life and look at like what you want, and let's find a way to move forward with what you do want and drop what you don't, right? So it's a kind of reevaluation, reassessing, revisiting, going back, looking at the resolutions or goals that you set. And if you didn't set any, maybe it's time to set some for the next 6 months. And not to be hard on yourself, because like I said, that Capricorn energy can be like, make you want to be hard on yourself. Spirit is saying, instead of, you know, being too critical of yourself, just give yourself a second chance. If there's something you didn't do, hey, do it now. There's no time like the present. So let's get into the cards. Whoop. Let's get into the cards and see what the cards are saying for us. So Spirit, what would you like the collective to know about July? I'm seeing money, I'm seeing coins, I'm seeing finances. Career, I feel like for some of you, for some of us, is going to be like a real theme this month, but not just career, change in career, promotion in career, shift in career. With that revisiting energy and going back to goals that were set at the beginning of the year, I feel like some of us and some of you set goals to change your career or to qualify in something new, to walk a new career path. I'm seeing coins just dropping. Spirit is saying that if you had a goal at the beginning of the year to change your career path, to go after a promotion, to go after more money, and you haven't followed it through, then it may be time to revisit that and just check whether that's something you still want to do and go after it. Because you're, like I said, the sun's coming in. The sun is here to illuminate the way forward. It's like the energy feels very light and airy. Does that mean we're not going to have challenges? Of course it doesn't. But what I'm feeling is now is the time where it's going to feel a little bit easier to progress, right? I feel like it's going to feel a little bit easier to progress. Okay. Okay, let's do 2 more cards. Well, let's do a clarity and guidance spread anyway. So, and while I'm pulling the cards, I can talk to you about it. So I've actually just uploaded a new type of reading on my website. It'll be like a pre-recorded video reading. So if you know, have been around here for a while, you know I've done a clarity and guidance spread. It's my own spread. It's the own way I read, and it gives you like a oversight on your life and guidance on how to move forward. And with the energy that's coming through here, like of gaining clarity about moving forward, it's like the perfect kind of thing. Okay, so it's an 8-card spread. So, all right. Okay, one more card, please, Spirit. One more card, please, Spirit. One more card. Okay. Right, so some of you have had a really tough first half of the year. Some of you have had a really tough first half of the year, and I'm being drawn to your mental health, okay? Because we've got the 9 of Swords tied to the Page of Swords. Swords often represent a battle, a challenge, something that we need to overcome, right? 9 of Swords is the card of like kind of like depression, victimization, feeling like a victim, feeling like life is on top of you, feeling like it's just all too much. And the Page of Swords is like being at the beginning journey of overcoming that. And I feel as I kind of tap into that energy that some of you are just coming out of the other side of that. I personally don't love the first half of the year. I am born in the first half of the year. My birthday's May. But from like March to June, it's not my favourite time of the year. I feel like a lot of you may resonate with that, where the first half of the year feels just very intense and has felt very intense, and you're trying now to find your way out of it. Spirit is saying that when they're talking about goals and setting goals and how to move forward, it doesn't always have to be material. Spirit is saying that how you feel and your well-being is equally as important as anything else. Some of you have also decided or are in the beginning stages, because pages are about the beginning stages of walking away from something that has not been great for your mental health, okay? This could be a friendship, this could be a relationship, this could be a work situation. Something that has caused a lot of turmoil for the first 6 months of the year. I feel like some of you are walking away from that now, and Spirit is encouraging that. But what they are saying is sometimes you know, people can give you advice like, oh, if it's hard, just leave the job, just leave the friendship, just leave the relationship. But there's also the aftermath of that, which is equally as hard sometimes as being in the situation. And so Spirit is saying to just give yourself a bit of grace, because the coming out period of that situation may feel equally as tough and as difficult. Some of you in the month of July really need to focus on, forget the material, forget, you know, I know I said that some of you are going to be career focused. Sorry about the screaming out there, if you could hear that. But some of you need to just draw it back and focus on your well-being, because you've had a little bit of a rough ride the past 6 months. You need to draw it back and start to find tools and techniques that are going to help you. I don't know who is screaming out there. I hope they're okay. It sounds like a child. Sorry if you can hear that. But yeah, it's about finding the tools and techniques to rebuild. Take it step by step, Spirit saying, if this does resonate with you, if you've had a toxic work environment, if you've had a toxic relationship and it's just felt so draining, or you've just broken up with someone, or there's an ending here for some of you. Some of you are either in the midst of ending something, or you've just ended it. And even though it's what you wanted and you feel a relief it's ended, there's still this feeling of like, this is really hard. Even though this is what I wanted, this is really hard. And that's okay. And Spirit is saying to just give yourself a little bit of grace and compassion. Like, it's okay for it to be what you wanted, but for it still to feel difficult. And Spirit is saying in the month of July to just focus bit by bit on finding your light again, finding the little things that make you happy in the everyday, even if it's just like going for a 5-minute walk, whatever it is, just focus on finding new happiness, because you're at the beginning journey of your healing stage. So your beginning stage of your healing journey, and this is like a new foundation that you're building on. Now, as I talk about that, Spirit is drawing me to the new moon. So the new moon is happening on the 17th of July. And the phrase that Spirit gives around that is an emotional reset. So we are being given, literally, the themes that I want you to hold for July here is reset and second chance. The full moon in Capricorn is coming in for you to have a material kind of reset, for you to look and be like, what are the physical things that I said I was going to do that maybe I haven't done, or maybe that I'm trying to force and aren't working out. And by the time we get to the Cancer new moon on the 17th of July, Spirit is saying that we're going to need to look at the emotions. You're going to need to look at your emotional reset. Where are you energetically pouring your emotions where maybe you don't need to? Where do you need to prioritize your emotions a little bit more? What relationships do you need to invest in more because they make you happy, and what ones do you need to step back from? So that ties into this message here. Some of you are just beginning a brand new healing journey. Healing is everlasting, never ending, but we go on different kind of stages. Sometimes we're healing and we take breaks. Sometimes, it's not linear, right? It's up and down. So as the 17th of July draws around and that Cancer new moon energy does come in, a lot of us, but specifically some of you who have had to walk away from certain things or are debating whether to walk away from certain things in the month of July, are going to feel very emotionally focused, right? And around that time, Spirit is just saying to just pay attention to how you feel, what's making you feel good, what's making you feel bad, and then assess your energy and make changes accordingly, right? Okay, 2 10s we've got coming here. So there's a completion for some of you, right? I do feel that some of you are walking away from relationships that you've possibly been in for a long time. And like I said, relationships could be work relationships, could be romantic relationships, could be friendships, right? And although it might feel difficult at first, the 10s are actually really positive cards, right? And 10 of Pentacles is also about money coming in. We have the 10 of Cups here. Sorry, did I say? We have the 10 of Cups here and the 10 of Pentacles. So 10 of Cups is about emotional fulfillment. Like I said, as we move to the 17th of July this month, there is an opportunity to reassess your life materially and then emotionally, and move forward in that energy. So it's not just about what do I want materially, it's about how do I want to feel, what makes me feel good, and how can I bring more of that into my life. Spirit is saying that some of you have felt very lost, and the reason being is because you haven't really focused on how you feel, but the moment that you do is when the abundance will start dripping in. How you feel is important. Like, I know it's like a buzz term and it's said a lot at the moment, but it is important. Also, a lot of you are going through shifts in relationship. Like I said, there is a shift here. The Wheel of Fortune. We are at a turning point. July is a turning point. It is halfway through, first beginning of the second half of the year. We are turning. There is opportunity for upgrade. There is opportunity for promotion. There is opportunity for relationships to take the next steps, jobs to take the next steps. I feel engagements with some of you. I feel commitments where like you may have been, I don't know, dating someone, and they maybe have tried to like be like, yeah, maybe we can make it official, or maybe we can't. Like, this energy is like, no, we're not sitting on the fence anymore. You need to be clear. I need to be clear with myself first about what I want. Do I actually want to commit to this thing? And if I do, then let's do it. And if not, then I need to let it go, because this is about putting to bed the first half of the year and moving forward on a clean slate. This is your opportunity to hit the refresh button, to give yourself a second chance, to bring in that light, to bring in that brightness, to pull up the blinds, open the window, let in the fresh air. And Spirit is saying that if some of you are in a situationship and this person is not committing to you, and you've been sitting and waiting around, it's time to move on, right? It's time to put the cards on the table and be like, what is this? what are we doing? But before you do that, you must get clear in yourself, because you could be in that situationship for reasons that aren't great either. You might just want companionship but not actually really be into the person. So you need to get clear with yourself first, and that clearness and that clarity will open up opportunities for you. This is about being clear about where you're going so that you can walk a clear path forward with opportunities, right? Again, endings are coming in for some of you. It is time to walk away, as scary as it seems, because by not walking away, you're sacrificing yourself. The Ten of Swords is tied to the Three of Wands. This month, you are going to be called to make shifts and changes, and to really face yourself as well. This isn't just about other people. This isn't just about external. When I said this is about how you feel, this is about your relationship with yourself, where you self-sabotage, where you say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, where you procrastinate, where you had goals that you wanted and now you've reassessed and be like, oh yeah, I actually really did want that thing and I still do want that thing, but you haven't done anything about it. This is about letting go of that rubbish and being like, how can I shift my life? And this all sounds very overwhelming, like, oh, we're gonna end July and like be new people. No, this is about starting the journey. As I said, this is about building new foundations, starting a new journey. Like, habits take, what is it, 28 days to create, but really they take months, years. And Spirit is saying you're facing years and years and years of habits that you've built. You're not going to change overnight. Your old habits are going to creep back up. But this is about looking at what you actually want and then moving towards it and letting go of the rest. Remember, we are embracing that black and white Capricorn energy. No more sitting in the grey area like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. If you've had an idea and it's been with you for the first 6 months of the year and it hasn't gone and it's still there, then you need to look at like, why have I not fulfilled it? How can I change that? And what's holding me back, and how can I move forward? There's a lot here, there's a lot of opportunity here, but I really feel like some of you are making shifts. They might be massive shifts, maybe you're moving to a new country. They could be small shifts, like you need to declutter your house, right? But there are shifts that need to be made so that you can walk forward with clarity. I hope that makes sense. Let's look at like what we can let go. You know, we're really, Spirit's talking about hitting the refresh, right? This is about hitting the refresh, doing so with the Capricorn full moon, releasing any guilt about what we didn't fulfill at the beginning of the year, releasing any doubt, and instead transmuting that energy into purpose, transmuting that energy into that workaholic, determined Capricorn energy, and be like, okay, I didn't do it then, but I'm going to do it now. Working on that mental critique and not beating yourself up about it, right? So what do we need to let go of in July to help us move forward, Spirit? Okay. What do we need to let go of in July to help us move forward? So I talked about this, right? So, like I said, some of you have found the first 6 months of the year a little bit difficult. Surrender to joy. A key to positive change, and change is a key word coming through here. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savour it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. This is about realigning with yourself, right? Coming back to yourself, making shifts, making changes. Keep coming back to it. Keep committing to it. It doesn't matter if you didn't do it before. Like, the past is done. There's no point in dwelling in it. July is here to give you a brand new start. It's to give yourself a reset and a second chance, right? This is your second chance to check in with yourself and really just sit and have your 6 month review and be like, what do I want? What do I want from this deck? Right, I'm being called to pull 2 more cards from this deck. Sorry about that, my battery overheated, so I had to take a little break. So sorry if anything looks different. But yeah, so I was just talking about, in the month of July, we're being called to surrender to the things that actually align with us, that actually work for us, that actually are going to help us propel forward. If you look at the picture, you can see that there's a lady dancing, she's leaping, she's moving forward, she's progressing. And that's what Spirit is really saying here. They are talking about, let me just move that. They are talking about focusing on the things that are actually going to help you, that are actually beneficial to you. and using that to move forward. Whereas, you know, beating yourself up, talking about what hasn't worked, what you haven't done, the goals you haven't achieved, like, it's fine to look at those and be like, okay, how can I move forward, or do I still want them? But what's not going to be helpful is beating yourself up about it, or pressuring yourself, or being hard on yourself. Instead, you want to harness the other side of the Capricorn energy and kind of focus on making a plan forward and focusing on what actually aligns with you and what actually brings you joy. Okay. Right, 2 more cards from the surrender deck. What else do we need to be surrendering to in July, Spirit? Connection is really important, and that's coming out as well. Yeah, connection and being around people who lift you and light you up is also going to be very important in the month of July. And Spirit is talking about, especially as we get more towards the 17th, is it 17th? Yeah, the new moon in Cancer on the 17th of July. Spirit is saying that around that time, maybe a week before, a week after, like the 2 weeks around that new moon, you may find connections being really heightened in terms of the way they make you feel. So what came out there was surrender to setting limits. And this says it is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. Spirit is saying that some of you watching this are recovering people pleasers, part of that healing that came up through the Golden Tarot and the Page of Swords is about laying new foundations where you focus on you, and that might mean you need to distance yourself from other people, or you might need to look at those work relationships and or those friendships or your intimate relationship and be like, maybe I'm giving more here and not receiving in return. Maybe I'm not actually getting what I need from this. Maybe this isn't working. Maybe I need to set limits. I need to set boundaries. It's okay to do that. And Spirit is almost saying in July, there is a kind of selfish energy coming through here of like, let me just protect myself a little bit. Let me just put my walls up a little bit and only allow in who I want to come in. And it's absolutely okay to say, no, I don't want you to do that, or no, I don't want that person to be involved in this. No, I don't want to take part in that. No, that doesn't make me feel comfortable. Like, this is really going to be part of practicing that. And when you start focusing on alignment and what you want and what brings you joy, and reassessing where your life's going and really focus on that and be clear on that, it will be easier to set limits because you'll have clarity about what you're going after. When you're kind of just moving forward, walking forward, not really clear about what you're doing, going with the flow, which is fine, it's fine to go with the flow, but just with no clear direction, you will most likely say yes to everything, yes to everyone, and you'll have no boundaries in place. And Spirit is saying that some of you need to be setting boundaries, because what's going to happen if you don't is that you are going to be distracted and led off course, right? So it's okay to say, no, I don't want to attend that dinner party. No, I don't want to do overtime at work. No, I don't want you to be involved in this decision in my life. No, I need to focus on this way of doing things, right? Some of you are really going to be called to that. Okay, last one, surrender frustration. Okay, here's the card. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or to solving a block is to take a deep breath, center yourself, here we go, and regroup. Regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Beating yourself up, being frustrated, being angry, being upset because at this point in time you aren't where you want to be, or you aren't where you thought you would be. They are natural human reactions, okay? So if it does come up, don't beat yourself up about feeling that way. Just allow it to come up, recognize the emotion, but don't sit in it, right? Let it come up, find a way to journal it out, sing it out, dance it out, paint it out, cook it out, move it out, move that energy out, and focus on what you do want. Surrender those limiting beliefs, surrender to what you actually want, to the joy, and let go of that negative self-talk. I feel like a lot of people are dealing with negative self-talk, and a lot of that unhappiness that came up in the first 6 months of the year is revolved around that concentration on lack, that concentration on negative self-talk, that concentration on I haven't got this and I haven't got that. It's time to shift out of that, get clear about what you do want, and then start focusing on how you can make it happen, on what's good in your life, on the abundance that's already in your life, on the success, the gratitude that you already have, on your health. If you've got that, that's an amazing thing to have. Like, start focusing on the good things, okay? So just as a conclusion, before I pull the final card, July really is about reassessing where you are at, not where everyone else is at, not where everyone else wants you to be at, not where your partner wants you to be, not where your friends want you to be, not where anything. Just looking back over the past 6 months with a black and white point of view, being like, okay, maybe I could do this better, maybe that needs to be done better, maybe I don't want that anymore. Give yourself maybe 15 minutes to just sit with yourself and give yourself a 6-month review. Meditate, ask spirit to come in and show you what you maybe need to be focusing on the next 6 months, and just give yourself, even if you can only do 15 minutes, do 15 minutes. If you've got an hour or a few hours to sit and do this, then great. The more time you can reassess and revisit the past 6 months, the more you have to dive deeper into and learn from. But this is about looking at it with a black and white, not a grey area, not a sitting on the fence, not a, oh, maybe I'll try that again, or no. You're either going to try it again or you're going to let it go. You're either going to move forward with this person or it's time to let them go. What do you want the next 6 months to look like for you? What does the ideal next 6 months look like for you? What can you continue to do that you've already been doing? And what can you let go of that isn't working for you? Revisit any goals that you still want to do. Let go of any goals that you are no longer aligned with who you are. So I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, give yourself a second chance. Go easy on yourself, and pay attention towards the end of July around how you're feeling and around the relationships that are making you feel good and are not. And if anyone's not making you feel good, set up those boundaries. So, final card for the collective, final message for July, ending message for July, spirit, for the collective. Okay. Okay. I am in sync with the flow of life. You can use that as an affirmation. You can repeat that to yourself through July. I am in sync with the flow of life. And as that card came out from Spirit, I talked a lot about change in this reading, and about shifting, and about walking away, and about endings. And as I said, and I want to repeat it here, just because you choose to end something doesn't make it easy. And Spirit asks you in July to just remember that everything is working out and you are moving where you need to, even if it doesn't feel like it. Trust the process. And that is this reading concluded. So I hope you all have a lovely July. Work with the energies that are here, the moon energies, the second half of the year energies, the moment to reassess, reevaluate and move forward. If you'd like your own personal private reading with me, they are available on kirstylewis.co.uk, and I'll leave that down below. Hit a lovely thumbs up if you enjoyed the reading, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon for another video, lovelies. Bye!